Hi everyone, FPLMattDay here, and this is my Euro 2024 Fantasy Group A preview. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Be sure to give the video a like and get any comments, questions, or thoughts in the comments section. The idea of this video is just to give you my favorite picks from each team in each group, and rather than do one massive video, I'm going to preview each group each day until I've done groups A all the way through to groups F. So if you are playing Euro Fantasy, be sure to join my @FPLMattDay mini league. See if you can win this league and beat myself as well. And you can see in the banner at the bottom that the mini league code is capital T A lowercase I capital T V N A. So come and join my mini league now. So I'll quickly share screen to begin with, just to quickly tell you the 4 teams in Group A. And as you can see there on screen, Germany, the hosts. You've got Scotland, who are probably the least favourites in this group, along with Hungary and Switzerland. So you've got probably one standout in Germany being the hosts, a team that a lot of people aren't expecting much out of in Scotland, and then 2 pretty similar sides in Hungary and Switzerland. You'd probably say Switzerland are the strongest. So we'll stop sharing screen there, and we will now go in to the players to pick. So we'll start with Germany, who play Scotland first in the opening game. So let's have a look here at my favourite German players. So I will share screen again to go into Germany. You can see a little preview of my team there on the sideline. If you haven't done, I have got my team selection video on my channel as well. So go and check that one out too. And someone there, right there, second in line, Wirtz, he's already in my team. Very popular pick at 41% selected, purely because of his price at 7.5 million euros. I'd also said likes of Musiala there at 8.5 million euros, 18% selected. He's only €1 million more, but we've seen in Champions League fantasy how devastating he can be. He is also a midfielder, so a really good option. You've got Havertz there, classified as a forward. If you're going away from the Mbappe, Lukaku, Kane template, then Havertz will save you a lot of money. And he's got a great first fixture there against Scotland, coming off the back of a really strong season with Arsenal. Leroy Sané there, another option, 10% owned. On the lower end as well at 7 million. You know, if he gets to start in the Scotland game, you've got to look at him and think, maybe you've got to rank Sané above Wirtz, and then it's Sané, Wirtz, and Musiala. Because Sané at that price, he's so devastating, and he gets such devastating hauls in that midfield region. Gundogan, captain for Germany, very highly likely to be the penalty taker. So always a decent pick at 7 mil. And they're probably my favourite picks for Germany. I don't mind Gnabry at 7 million, but I wouldn't break the template for him. Tony Cruz there as well as an option in those midfield areas. But for me, the ones I mentioned there are the best sort of midfielders and attackers to pick from. You can get ball recoveries from Josh Kimmich at 6.5 million euros, but I just think there's money to be spent better elsewhere. Timo Werner, always quite good in a Germany shirt, but not 100% sure how many games he's going to get. Manuel Neuer in goal, not a bad shout. Is it going to be him, or is it going to be Ter Stegen as the number one? I think you're better off investing in the defence. And I like Rudiger at 5.5 million. He's 32% picked so far. Really strong option. Always a shout for a goal as well from a set piece, and a lot of ball recoveries. And we'll scroll down further into the defenders, and no one really knows the state of this Germany defence and who's actually going to get the starts or not. So for me, I've currently got Schlotterberg, sorry, I can't quite pronounce the name. Apologies to any Germans watching. 4.5 million, 8% selected. But I'm now hearing that, we'll go back up here. I'm hearing that the likely candidate to start for Germany could be Tar at 4.5 million, so only 4% owned. And then also, we'll go further down. Strong chance that Mittelstadt starts as well at 4 million. 11% selected so far as well. So there's a lot of good value in this Germany defence, especially if Mittelstadt starts and Jonathan Tah starts. Because Tah's 4.5 mil and then Mittelstadt is 4 million. That's bargains in Euro Fantasy. So you've really got to consider those German defenders. So that's Germany. Let's go to Scotland. Probably won't have too much time spent on Scotland. Unfortunately, Lyndon Dykes, who was one of their best Euro Fantasy picks, did get ruled out of the tournament today. So that is very unfortunate. But we go to Scotland. It's very slim pickings in terms of what's been selected so far, albeit this is right at the bottom. So let's go to the top. But even then, 9% of Scott McTominay at 6.5 million. Very, very good for Scotland. Gets in those attacking positions as well, gets a bit of a free roll. John McGinn at 6.5 million. They're probably two of the best picks. Then Dykes was a great pick at 6 million prior to his injury, so you've got to forget about him now. But for me, if you're going between McTominay and McGinn, you've got to pick McTominay. I know McGinn gets you the recoveries, but McTominay has that eye for goal. Probably going to look at him in the games against maybe Hungary or Switzerland, though, instead. But someone does have to score goals for these smaller sides. You've got Robertson in there, we know him from FPL. Che Adams looks to be 1% selected, so he's got some sort of hope there. Billy Gilmore, really good for the ball recoveries. If you need that fifth midfielder at 5 mil, gets on the ball a lot as well. Might be able to get an assist if Scotland can score. And then we'll scroll down to the rest of the team. There isn't too much in there that is standing out for me. Probably won't be looking at any more of their defenders, goalkeepers, or midfielders other than the ones that we have mentioned. So let's go away from Scotland now. We did spend quite a bit of time on Germany, not so much on Scotland. We will go to Hungary now. Let's go to Hungary and we'll end with Switzerland. So we'll go to Hungary. Switzerland in the first game for them. So we're at the top here, and there's a lot of players here that aren't selected so far. Just having a look through there, there's not too much that really catches my eye. I know people will be saying there's a lot of differentials, there's a lot of opportunity in here. You've got Orban there at 4.5 mil, 2% selected. We've seen how good he is in Champions League fantasy. So it could replicate here into Euro fantasy, but it's not really, like Galaxy there as the keeper. I know you get save points and there's, but for me, I think there's just better keepers you can get clean sheets out of. But we'll keep going down because there's one man. It's obviously a very, very strong pick for Hungary. And he isn't there right now. So let's see where he is. We'll scroll to the top. There he is. He was right at the top. It was Dominik Szoboszlai, 15% selected, the captain for Hungary. Big, big goal threat for Hungary. Takes free kicks, takes penalties, is on the ball a lot, ball recoveries, a lot of potential. And at 7 million, that's a really, really good price point if you can squeeze him in as a fourth or fifth midfielder. I spoke about Orban as well. But for me, that's probably sort of where I'd target in terms of my lineup. The likes of Szoboszlai, maybe the likes of Orban at 4.5 million. I'd probably keep it about there for now. There's just so many good players to pick from in this group. So let's go to Switzerland, the final team in this group. And it looks like I've accidentally, potentially, clicked on Netherlands in the background as well. We will be previewing them later on in the week. So let's go to Switzerland. There's a few players from here to pick from. And the man at the top, Shaqiri, at 1% selected, always turns it on in tournaments for the Swiss. Good first fixture there with that Hungary game. We know how good he can be in a Switzerland shirt. Really liking that pick. As for their forwards, look, if Embolo can get the minutes at 6.5 million, there's potential hope in there. We've seen him do it at previous tournaments. But I'm going to scroll down here to a player that's currently in my team at 4% selected. Let's put him back in there. There we go. Granit Xhaka. You never know. Is he going to be on pens ahead of Shaqiri? Will he get free kicks? He's got an eye for goal. We know he's a bit of a red card, yellow card threat at times, but he's had such a good season at Leverkusen. It wouldn't put it past me if he carries it over into this tournament. I think 6 million is an absolute bargain in that midfield area for someone that's going to start. And I think he'll even captain their national side. And we'll scroll down to see what other sort of picks we may consider in this team. Sommer is always a popular pick as a goalkeeper, 6 mil. Lots of save points. Sorry, 5 mil, 6% selected. I just think there's better goalkeepers on offer. You've got Akanji there at 5 mil. We all know him from Man City. There's a few people looking at Zakaria for a 5 million starter, potentially ball recoveries, maybe the odd goal or assist as well. And we'll keep scrolling down. You've got Kobel as well as a keeper, the Dortmund keeper. I wonder if he'll then get the pick ahead of Sommer. Not so sure. Sommer seems to be the one that's nailed. But otherwise, if Kobel was number one, you've got to look at him for 4.5 million. Rodriguez in there has always been a popular pick at Euros for Switzerland in fantasy games. And that's probably where I'll end it with Switzerland. Obviously, I spoke about the favourite picks being Xhaka and Shaqiri. So there you have it. That is my Euro 2024 Fantasy Group A preview with some of my favourite players and picks that you need to consider for your teams. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well, and give this video a like. Well, look, let's leave it there. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in. I'm FPLMattDay, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.